Hello and welcome to the Aunty Lisa show. Today we are doing a story with us, Skye's helicopter, and therefore I think Skye, a shrink ray gun, Margot, Edith and Agnes, and the jungle. So let's do this, as they say. One day, Aunty Lisa, Aleksander and Kristoffer decided to go on a trip of a lifetime to the jungle. But they didn't go all on their own. No. They went on their trip with Margot, Edith and Agnes, who are awesome. And it was a big trip, and so they had to pack lots and lots and lots of cool luggage, like big, strong backpacks and extra good raincoats, because the jungle is a very wet place. And obviously dinosaur hunting equipment, just in case, not hunting as in killing, but looking for. And some snacks, because you always get peckish on a trip into the jungle. And that is the truth. So off they went to the jungle. And to get to the jungle, they needed to go on a big, long journey. And they went on an aeroplane. A big, enormous aeroplane that went... And it was a super ginormous aeroplane where they give you champagne when you get on board. Aunty Lisa liked that a lot. Everybody else had a small cup of Coca-Cola. And that was fine. And then they all went a little bit hyper and a little bit crazy, and Aunty Lisa regretted that immediately. Anyway, by and by, they landed in Brazil, which is a super hot country with some amazing jungle, also known as rainforest. And it was super rainy. And they set out on their way into the jungle in a Jeep, which is a 4x4 car. And they decided to go searching for the Lost City of Azkaban. That's where they decided to go. It's an ancient city that Aunty Lisa might have just invented. It's an ancient city where people used to live thousands of years ago. And some say it is still haunted by their ghosts. So anyway, obviously it seemed like a really sensible and good idea to pop off to the jungle and do this. Now, they were just on their way into the jungle when they found something very interesting indeed. They found Skye's helicopter. And they were like, whoa, where is Skye? The helicopter had clearly crash landed into the jungle. And Aleksander and Kristoffer were like, where is Skye? Where is Skye? Skye. Skye was nowhere to be seen. Then Margot, Edith and Agnes started looking around too. And they're like, where is Skye? She's got to be around here somewhere. And then they heard something. And it went, I'm up here. And they were like, what? Where is Skye? I can't even... OMG, what? Aleksander and Kristoffer had spotted Skye with their magnifying glasses, like this. Skye was sitting on the top of the chair inside her helicopter. She was in there. And you'd think she'd be easy to spot, but no. She was not easy to spot because she was tiny. Teeny, weeny, tiny Skye. Aleksander said, Skye, what happened? And she said, I don't know. I know I'm tiny. And Kristoffer said, wow, will you fit in my pocket? And Skye said, probably. Are there any biscuits in there? And Kristoffer said, hold on. And there were some dog biscuits in there. That was lucky. So Skye jumped into Kristoffer's pocket and poked her head out the top. It was one of those little pockets that you have on the front of your t-shirt sometimes. Very handy for tissues and small dog friends who have been shrunk by a shrink ray gun. Although, of course, at this time, they didn't realise that that's what had happened. So, Margot and Edith and Agnes said, well, what on earth has happened to you, Skye? How did you end up being shrunk? And what happened to your helicopter? And Skye said, I just turned really small, and then I couldn't use the controls, and then it went into automatic crash land mode, and here I am. And they said, good job, we came along when we did, Skye. And she said, yes, I can't even use the pup pad to get the Paw Patrol to come and help me. And Margot and Edith and Agnes said, yeah, good point. Where is the pup pad? And Skye said, I think it fell out of the helicopter on the way down. And they said, oh no. Got to find that pup pad. We need some help from the Paw Patrol. They'll know what to do. So they set about searching the jungle for the pup pad. And then they thought it started to get dark. And it started to get a little bit spooky. And they said, well, you know what? We'll have to find that pup pad later. Because right now, we need to set up camp. So they'd actually got quite a way into the jungle by this point. And so they put up their hammocks ready for bed. And they built a fire. And they sat round the fire singing lovely songs like, I'm bad, you know it. That one especially. And T-Rex Ranch is the place I wanna be. All the creatures running free, come join me. Which are the two most popular songs to sing around any campfire ever. So they were having a lovely time, although Skye was obviously still tiny. But she still enjoyed the campfire and singing the songs. And she had more dog treats than you could ever imagine. Because she was so small, one dog treat was going to last her for ages. So she was okay. Anyway, they were just getting ready to settle down to bed when they heard something. There was this sound, and it went. Aleksander said, did you hear that? Kristoffer said, what? He said, listen. And it went. And he went, I thought I heard something funny. Kristoffer said, yeah, I think I can hear it too. Margot, Edith and Agnes were like, what? And they heard it again. That's a funny sound. It sounds a little bit like someone. Whoop! Uh-oh. Margot had shrunk down to teeny tiny weeny size Margot. Aunty Lisa went, what? Where did Margot go? Has anyone seen Margot? And Margot went, and sure enough, there she was on top of a log. Help me! Nobody sit on me! Don't sit on me! Don't sit on me! Aleksander nearly sat on her because you know what he's like for sitting on people. Anyway, in the nick of time, he didn't. And he grabbed her up and he put her in his pocket. And she said, what happened? And they said, I don't know, Margot. I just don't know what's going on. And then, uh-oh. Edith. Aunty Lisa went, oh, this is turning into a nightmare trip. We've got 3 teeny tiny people. What are we going to do? And there was that funny sound again. Oh, what is that sound and where is it coming from? It seems like it's coming from everywhere. And then, whoop, Agnes. Whoop, teeny tiny Agnes. Aunty Lisa said, oh no, this is bad. Right. Night vision goggles on, guys. So Aleksander, Kristoffer and Aunty Lisa all put their night vision goggles on. Agnes went in Aunty Lisa's pocket. All right, can we see anybody? Can we see anybody anywhere? This is crazy. And then Aunty Lisa said, look over there. And just as she said it, whoop, Aunty Lisa got turned tiny weeny as well. She was so small she could have fallen down the drain. That's how small she was. Luckily, in the jungle, not many drains, so it was fine. So, Aleksander picked up Aunty Lisa and put her in his other pocket. And Aunty Lisa said, you be careful, I don't want to get squished when you sit down. And he said, don't worry, Aunty Lisa, it'll be fine. She's so silly. Anyway, they had spotted something in the jungle, but they needed to act super fast. They needed to get out of the way of whoever was controlling the shrink ray gun. And so they ran into the forest. They ran as fast as they could. Jumping over logs, swinging across things on vines, doing cool karate rolls, which is a bit dangerous when you've got someone in your pocket. Anyway, it worked out fine. And eventually they came to a clearing in the forest. And they spotted a big temple made out of big old grey stones and covered in vines and moss. And they were like, "Gotta get inside. Whoever has got the shrink ray gun is chasing us." So then Aunty Lisa went, "No, not into the Temple of Azkaban. You'll surely get caught by a ghost. We'll all get caught by a ghost." It was too late. Aleksander and Kristoffer charged inside and they slammed the door behind them. And they went, whew. They were inside the Lost City of Azkaban in the middle of the jungle. And it was pitch black in there. Margot, Edith, Agnes and Aunty Lisa and Skye were still tiny and sitting inside various pockets. They were like peering at it. "Oh, it's too scary. I don't like it in here." Nobody liked it. It was too dark. Kristoffer said, "Don't worry. I've got my torch." Ka-dink. A terrifying T-Rex appeared in front of them. And everyone went, "Ah, T-Rex, T-Rex, T-Rex." Kristoffer went, "Hold on." Terrifying Triceratops appeared in front of them. And everyone went, "Ah, it's a Triceratops." Kristoffer went, "Don't be silly. It's just my torch. It's got pictures in it, hasn't it?" Aunty Lisa went, "Oh, I remember now. I got you that torch. It's a really good torch, but a bit scary. Can you take the pictures out, please, Kristoffer?" Kristoffer said, "Okay, I'll take the pictures out. Aunty Lisa, here's the pictures." And Aunty Lisa held the great big disc, massive to her, put it down in the pocket. Then they were able to use the torch as a torch and not a terrifying picture maker of dinosaurs. And they started walking into the tomb or whatever it was that they walked inside, that was inside the Lost City of Azkaban, that was in the middle of the jungle probably. And they heard some spooky sounds. This is true. All based in fact. And the sounds went, "Woo! Woo!" Aleksander and Kristoffer looked at each other and went, "Is it a ghost? It could be a ghost." Aunty Lisa did say there were ghosts. And Aunty Lisa piped up, "I did say there were ghosts." Anyway, suddenly they heard something running towards the monument that they were inside. And they were like, "No, it's got to be whoever's got the shrink ray gun. We're just going to have to run for it." And they ran and they ran and they ran into the middle of the monument thingy. What shall I call it? Not a tomb, so much as like a pyramid in the middle of the jungle. Yes, that's the kind of pyramid it was, which do exist. So they were inside the very, 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 very old pyramid. And inside was getting pretty scary. They could hear someone banging at the door. Bang, bang, bang. Aleksander and Kristoffer ran and ran and ran and ran. They've got to get something to get that person. Whoever has got the shrink ray gun is chasing us. Well, suddenly from the other direction, they heard a... Aleksander went, "Quick, duck!" And they launched themselves off into a side corridor, just as a giant boulder came rolling down from inside the pyramid. Aleksander and Kristoffer went, "Whew, that was a close one." Now that boulder carried on rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling, and it smashed through the door straight into whoever was banging on it. Aleksander and Kristoffer looked at each other and went, "I think it might have squashed whoever had the shrink ray gun. Ooh, I hope it's not made a mess. Let's go check it out." And they went outside. And they looked down, and sure enough, there was the door, flat on the ground. And there was the shrink ray gun, flung to the side. And they said, oh no, I wonder what's underneath this door. Dun dun dun. Well, quick as a flash, Kristoffer picked up the shrink ray gun, because you should never leave one of those lying around. And he said, how do you think we change the settings on this thing? We need to make everyone grown. And Aleksander said, we also need to check out what's under this door. Aunty Lisa said, I don't want to look, I don't want to see. Margot and Edith and Agnes went, lift it up, we want to see what's underneath, we want to see whoever's squished. And Aleksander went, ooh, I hope they're not squished. Skye said, oh no, I hope nobody's been hurt, because she's always nice. Well, Aleksander and Kristoffer tried to lift up the door, but they couldn't. It was too heavy. And they said, we're going to have to unshrink you all before we could even attempt to lift up this door. And then from inside the tomb came a funny noise again. Stay away! Woo! Aleksander and Kristoffer looked at each other and went, that doesn't sound quite like a real ghost to us. We have met real ghosts, and that does not sound quite like a real ghost to us, actually. And then it went, no, I am a real ghost. Aleksander and Kristoffer went, I don't think that's a real ghost. And they shone their torch down inside. And do you know what they saw inside? It was not a real ghost at all. It was a giant talking sloth, which is one of the coolest animals you'll ever see, because all they do is hang around all day. Sometimes they go swimming, but that's about it. Anyway, they said, hang on a minute, that's not a ghost, that is a sloth. What are you doing in there? And how come you can talk? This is a very strange turn of events. And the sloth went, no, I'm a ghost. Oh, you can see me? Aleksander and Kristoffer said, yes, we can see you. We've got the torch. And the sloth came out and said, oh, I've been guarding this pyramid here in the jungle because we just don't want any more humans coming here and chopping down our trees. And Aleksander and Kristoffer said, oh, yeah, that is a big problem in the jungle. People should not be chopping down trees in the jungle. That's really bad. And the sloth said, we know. We have special magical powers here because of the magic in the pyramid, and that's why I can talk. But anyway, I see we might have squished somebody. I hope he wasn't a friend. Aleksander and Kristoffer said, no, this person, or whoever it was not a friend. They shrunk our friends, in fact. And the sloth went, what? There's more of you? And Aleksander and Kristoffer went, yeah. And then Aunty Lisa piped up, hello, sloth. Nice to meet you. And the sloth went, what? Oh, I thought you humans were a lot bigger than that normally. And Aleksander said, they are bigger normally. They got shrunk down by a shrink ray gun, see? And he went, whoa, is that a gun? And Aleksander said, no, not a real gun. It's a shrink ray gun. It makes things teeny tiny. So anyway, the sloth said, well, I think we need to make your friends big again. And so sloth helped them line up all their friends, Kristoffer, Margot, Edith, Agnes, Skye, and Aunty Lisa, all in their own little spots. And then Aleksander and Kristoffer and the sloth, because sloths are very strong, held the shrink ray gun. And Aleksander and Kristoffer, they switched it back to grow. And they went 1, 2, 3. It's got a powerful kick, sloth. Can you hold on tight for us? Sloth went, yep, no problem. 1, 2, 3. Everyone was full size again. Hooray! Whew! Aunty Lisa, Margot, Edith, Agnes, and Skye were super relieved. Whoo-wee! And they said, well, now we've just got to see who's underneath this door and if we can maybe give them some help or take them to jail. Now, it was at this point that Skye realised that when she had been shrunk, so had the Paw Patrol pup pad. that was in her pocket at a time. So she pressed the Paw Patrol alarm on the putt pad. And it sent out a beacon, so help would be on its way. And they said, right, we're going to have to lift up this door. But be ready, we might need to catch whoever's underneath. I said, okay. It was a pretty tense moment. I said, 1, 2. Ready? Everyone got in their positions, ready to lift up the most enormous door as it was. 3. We lifted up the door. Underneath the door was something quite surprising. It was a mini tank robot. That's right. It was a robot with tank track tyre legs so it could roll through the jungle, and had an arm on it for holding the shrink ray gun, and it was smashed to smithereens. And everyone went, what? It's a tank robot with a special shrink ray gun arm? Who would do such a dastardly thing as send a tank robot shrink raying things into the jungle? That is so mean. And then they heard that noise again. Aunty Lisa said, did you hear that? Everyone went, yeah, we heard that. And then they looked up. And in the tree, there was someone very, very naughty indeed. And they were giggling away to themselves because they thought nobody could see them. But they were wrong. And everybody looked up into the tree. And who was up there with a remote control for the shrink ray gun holding tank robot but Balthazar Bratz? And he went, oh, uh-oh. And then do you know what happened next? Well, I tell you, the sloth picked up the shrink ray gun. Very intelligent creatures. Flicked it to shrink. Balthazar Brat got shrunk down. Teeny tiny! And he was dangling from the tree. Help! 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 And everyone went, what? Oh no, you didn't do that, did you, Sloth? And the Sloth went, well, he didn't seem like a very nice guy. And they said, no, he's not a very nice guy. And then they got out one of their hammocks that they'd managed to drag with them, and they held it out underneath the branch. And in the nick of time too, because then Balthazar Bat fell boing, into it. And they caught him. And they went, right, you Balthazar Brat. How could you come out to the jungle and shrink us like that? That was really mean. And he went, I'm so sorry. Please take care of me. Please don't take me to jail again. And Aunty Lisa said, that is precisely where you're going, Balthazar Brat. To jail. Just at that moment, the rest of the Paw Patrol arrived. Paw Patrol, like that. They didn't have to sing the song, but they did turn up. And Aunty Lisa said, oh, can you guys give us a lift out of the jungle? It's just been a really tiring day. And Mr. Sloth that lived in the temple, he said, hey, before you go, will you promise me something? And Aunty Lisa said, anything, Sloth. And he said, can you promise that you will tell people that this place is haunted? Don't tell them it's just me, the Sloth, okay? I don't want any more humans coming here except you guys because you're nice. Not him, not Balthazar Brat, but the rest of you are okay. And Aunty Lisa said, we promise. So, they all left for their original camp, because it takes a while to get out of the jungle. All the Paw Patrol came with them. And luckily, the fire that they'd left there had not burnt down the rest of the jungle. And they all had some sausages round the fire. And they put Balthazar Brat in a little cat carrier that the Paw Patrol happened to have with them. And then they took him out the next day and took him to jail. And then they went on the news and they told everyone on the news that they'd seen a really scary ghost in the middle of the jungle and that no one was ever to go there ever again. And that is a cunning and ingenious plan to save the rainforest. It might just work, who can say? So then anyway, they had cake and enjoyed the rest of their trip and did little tours of the jungle and saw parrots. And that is the end of the story. Night night. Love you.